What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my podcast, Domination World Wide. I want to welcome my guest, Tim Lanza from Lanza Auto.
How's it going?
Welcome, bro. Happy to have you here. You know, our guests that we like to have is usually people that are willing to, take the next step in life, go the next level, always do better, and just, never settle. Just, improve, entrepreneur, make goals and get after it, That's kind of that's my mentality, and of course that's just my character. So I kind of feel we're like the same way. We have a lot in common, and I've been watching you grow on social media. We kind of just met recently through social media, which is pretty awesome. Which is gonna be one of my questions that I want to start is like how did you guys find me, or how did we even connect?
Yeah, so my shop's right down the road. So I grew up in Leominster. So I saw this building when it was like falling apart, basically. So
Yeah.
I watched what you do. I watched what you did from there. Driving by. This is like my road to test drive cars on. So I saw kind of the transformation of the building, everything you were putting into it. Then I started seeing stuff on social, and I've got a podcast myself, I've done some other stuff, and I just know what it's like to kind of put yourself out there when not a lot of people immediately around us are doing the same thing, so I just have a lot of respect for that.
Right on, bro.
And, I think I hit you up, shot you a DM, I was like, yo, I just see you're trying to do it at a high level.
Hell yeah. So obviously, your shop is 2 seconds down the road. When you introduced yourself, you were like, hey, I'm a neighbor over here, running a similar company, small business, but with motors, mechanics. So you probably saw us buy this place, rehab it from the start, the new sidings, the inside, everything, and then you probably like, let me go see who this owner is, what he's all about. And from there you followed me and hit me up. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
I love stories like that because, and you're not the first to do that. Like, there was a bunch of other neighbors on the street that were like, hey, I saw what you did. The town was loving what I was doing too. And my thing is just making everything maintenance free, 100%,
Yeah, and I mean, both the businesses we're in, typically trades businesses. Who do you think of as some guy that owns a plumbing company? It's like some 60-year-old dude who's been doing it forever. It's not often that you see like a young guy starting his own company, building it at such an aggressive rate. So I feel like we're kind of in the same boat there.
Right on, bro. So little introduction here. Tell us a little bit about your journey of starting your business and what inspired you to enter your industry.
So my dad's been in business for over 50 years now, and so I grew up, adjacent to the business, and I tinkered with cars and stuff my whole life, and always loved cars, always had a passion for it. And my dad's goal in life was for me to never work in the car business. So I went to college like he and my mom wanted to, got an education like I was supposed to, got a real job in the corporate world, and I don't know, I made it like maybe 2 years before I just got, progressively more and more depressed, and just kind of had like a little mental breakdown. And I was like, what am I, like, is this what I'm doing with the rest of my life? Just sitting in this chair, like
Right.
calling people, and I don't know, it just wasn't for me. And so I had a real influential talk with a very successful buddy of mine, and he was like, if you could do anything, what would it be? And I said, I would go home and just fix cars with my dad. And he was like, do it.
That's right.
So I did. I kind of took that jump, came back, and it was
What were you studying in college?
business management.
Business management. So you can relate, some things that you learned it didn't all go to waste.
Yeah, well, sort of, yes and no. It's like all the stuff I wasn't really paying that close attention to in class. Now
Yeah.
I've spent the last 5 or 6 years like reteaching myself.
What's so funny is like, now if you went and took that class, your eyes would have been probably glued to the whiteboard or the teacher, where it was the opposite, just because you couldn't relate it.
Right, I had nothing to apply it to, whereas now I'll spend hours and hours at night.
They should teach that shit in high school.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, definitely in high school, do a better job of showing kids like, hey, you have other options, and especially kids that don't fit into the mold of school. I think those are probably the people that become some of the better entrepreneurs because they are doing things a little bit differently. They're not like following the rules that everyone else is.
That's just it. In school, I feel like they never just like can sugarcoat it. They always kind of like scare people away. It's either like, listen, you're going to work or you're going to college, where they could, be a little kinder and say, hey, you could start your own business. You could do this. It's easy as this, but
Well, think about this. If
there's a lot of people afraid to take the risk.
Oh, absolutely. But if you took you go to school, that which is like the common path. You go to college. You take, let's say, like $100,000 worth of student loans. A lot of people's way more than that. But let's just say $100,000, and you get some degree. You find there's no real jobs in that, or that's not what you wanted to do. Now you're saddled with this debt, working some job, trying to pay it back. You can't file for bankruptcy on student loans. So you could have gone to a trade school, borrowed $100,000, started a company, and at least if you failed, you could file for bankruptcy. Like, at least you can get out from the debt if you really had to.
You can.
Right.
And, so many people just, once they hit bankruptcy, it's over. Okay? I've heard of so many people that filed bankruptcy and they get twice as rich the second time around.
You learn lessons.
You learn lessons 100%. Obviously you're gonna freaking hit a struggle that's gonna set you back a bit, but things get ugly before they get better.
Yeah.
But always having a plan B and predicting, kind of setting yourself up too if that happens.
Exactly.
It's not just like, oh, what do I do? Sit at home and cry? No, you already have an next plan if that happens.
Well, in our world is so different than like what probably your like our dads, because just having the internet, it's like you have direct access to people that are doing all the things you want to do. Just like follow them, contact them, learn from them.
Was your dad wicked big with the whole business, or was he just big with the tools?
My dad always said the thing he hates most about the car business is the business.
Right on.
Yeah.
I didn't come from a business family either. It was just they went to work for somebody, came back, and that was it. Lived their life on the weekends.
The first thing my dad handed over to me was the books. He's like, you can do this.
Yeah, 100%.
You can stay away from the cars, but you can start doing the bookkeeping. And I was like, okay. And then just kind of started doing more and more, developing myself, and I don't know, just every day trying to improve on every little piece of it.
No, exactly. And so after, you reached out to me on Instagram, that's why I'm all about, meeting my neighbors, networking, and I took a ride by your shop and got to see, what you had going on, and I'm really excited to start giving you some more business. One of my guys, that van still needs to get a mirror done on it, and we got the mirror, and then we also got, that tranny wants to get flushed, whatnot, but I got another call about a radiator on the way home. This guy was like, hey, we're limping it back, I don't know, the gauge was, I guess, going a little too hot, so I told him, pull over, find a gas station, get some coolant in it, better not fucking blow that thing up, pour some water, whatever, so, ain't one thing, it's another.
One thing's for sure with cars and anything mechanical, it's like it's gonna break. It's just like a pipe is gonna leak eventually.
Yeah, it just has to happen on the worst time, Friday at 4 o'clock.
Of course.
So I guess we're gonna be back in the market for some new trucks.
That's what you gotta do.
That's what we gotta do. Cool. Another question I have is, what has been the biggest challenges you faced in your business, and how have you overcame them?
The biggest challenge is probably myself. With everything is whether it's my own abilities, my own knowledge. Having to continually develop. Like, I'm the only one who's gonna do it at the end of the day, which means I need to continue to develop my knowledge, my skill set, my mindset, control my emotions. All of those things are a challenge on a daily basis, as you know. And I think with everything we do, there's when you're doing something that not a lot of other people are doing, there's always like a sense of fear around it.
Right.
And just kind of pushing through that fear. That's been probably the biggest challenge. I mean, I'm sure I could pick a million things, but it usually boils down to me. I mean, when you're a business owner, like, you're the guy.
That's just it. Nothing's gonna happen unless you do it.
Right. And whatever happens or doesn't happen, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's your fault.
Oh yeah. And what the main thing to it is? Writing it down.
Yeah.
We freaking have it roll through our head all day long, the night before, etc. But if you don't write it down, cross things off, I feel like it won't, get done, or it won't get done as quick.
Yeah, I mean, I live off of a list, basically. Like, every night I make myself a list, and I try to, at the end of the day, every day I try to look back and say, okay, what frustrated me today, what went bad, what did I not like, and then how can I change what I'm doing around that to not have it happen again. Kind of change my practices so that I'm not running into this problem next time.
Exactly, bro. No, right on. How do you stay ahead of the curve with industry trends and innovations?
So I try to, first of all, utilize like people that are mentors of mine in my industry, who are also doing things at a high level. Try to gain knowledge.
Seeing them
from
on social media?
Exactly, social
Right.
media or different like mastermind.
There's not
groups.
too many around here though,
Not really, no.
which is good. Obviously
Yeah.
there's a lot bigger shops, but there's not too many people that are big with the online.
Right, exactly, and
So that's one step ahead.
and obviously with the stuff you're doing, it's like this is the direction we're going with the world. Not even the direction we're going. A lot of people are already there.
Right.
So I think places like where we're at are just kind of catching up, and it's good to get ahead of that and try to both with the technology of, for instance, like we just switched over this year to using digital vehicle inspections. So a lot of the higher level shops are doing that. Customers want to see and understand what's going on with their vehicle and want to have trust and transparency, so they feel like automotive industry has always been had a bad reputation. And that comes from like years past, different issues with people, shops maybe not doing what they say they're doing or selling work that they don't need. We try to be as transparent as possible with the customer and show them this is exactly what you need, this is exactly why you need it. And then, technology also same as your business, like with the cars, it's just evolving every day.
No,
So
exactly.
things are changing, and I try to keep myself up and keep my technicians up on training all sorts of different systems of the car, and we're going to see new stuff year after year. It's going to change.
No, right on. What was that law that got passed or something recently? It had to do with automotive.
So they call it the Right to Repair Act, and essentially what it is that the manufacturers have proprietary information about their systems, and they want to try to keep that from what we would call the aftermarket industry, which is basically like every repair shop you think of that doesn't have a name brand emblem
Of course.
on the front. So they don't want you to have that or me to have it, because they want to force you to come to them for the repairs, for the service. And so it's basically this battle between the independents and the manufacturers as far as what information is released. I mean, I pay for multiple different software subscriptions, technical
How
data
bad would that have
platforms.
hurt you if it didn't get
Crushed us.
Really?
It would have crushed it. I mean,
And the only thing that would have helped was the big manufacturers at the dealerships, right?
correct. I mean, with a modern car, if you don't have a high level scan tool and a wiring diagram and all that type of stuff, I mean, you can't even do a brake job now without a scan tool.
Oh, 100%. That's freaking insane. And I know you obviously don't have those cheap freaking just, plug in one. You got the whole computer with it, which is sick. I was really impressed when I brought the van down and you were able to pull it all up on the phone with different options, kind of, full 360 pictures of everything.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a big difference, and it allows us to be more effective.
Yeah.
The worst thing for me is car comes in.
Your dad when he probably saw that, he was like, holy shit.
Well, what's funny is, like, especially with the pictures, my dad would always say, like, hey, why don't you come down to the shop? I got the car up in the air. I want you to see this part and understand why. It's like, people don't have time for that these days.
Right.
People are at work, they got busy lives, but now it's like, boom, here's a link on your phone. Here's an explanation of everything we found. It just makes their life easier. I am able to move faster, and they're able to move faster and keep doing what they need to do.
I know, I'm wicked big with obviously all those, just different modern, online resources and softwares, because that's what helps us stay, ahead and modern. The homeowners love it. They appreciate a receipt and everything in writing over seeing the job itself done,
Right.
It's the only thing that makes them sleep at night, rest assured, and that they're good. Can you share your philosophy on customer service and how it's impacted your business?
Yeah, so, I mean, my real background, if you want to call it that, is in the restaurant industry.
Right.
I mean, I've been working in restaurants since I was 16 years old, and that is customer service, right there. It's just constant customer service. So just from serving tables, bartending, all that, I've gotten like rep after rep after rep of, providing customer service, dealing with customers, happy ones, unhappy ones, drunk ones. So that gave me like a really good foundation in seeing, especially in the bar, like you make your money off of regulars, right? And it's the same thing in a business. It's
Oh, yeah.
like, you know, you talk about like lifetime value of a customer. It's not the one transaction that you're gonna have with them that's gonna make you money. It's the great customer service that's gonna make them a customer for life.
Right.
So to me, customer service is honestly, the product is number one. Product and service, quality product, quality services is the most important thing. But right after that is customer service, because it's how you make that person feel when they spend money with you.
Hell yeah. Do you service all all vehicles?
Pretty much. I try to stay away from like heavy duty trucks and any sort of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we
Probably anything over 10,000 pounds.
Yeah, you know, my dad's got a real strong reputation for European vehicles.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I've
That's
always
good.
worked on a lot of
All
Mercedes.
Volvos, BMWs.
Not so much Volvos. Is like never liked those. They don't bother me. But
Yeah.
Mercedes, BMW, Volkswagen, Audi, work on a lot
shit.
of that type of stuff.
Back in the day, there used to be like one place that did them, which is over by the old mill, Westminster.
Okay, yeah.
Do you ever seen that dude over there?
Yeah.
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 And then I know there's that other shop right up the street on Central Street.
Yep. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
guy's pretty cool.
Yeah. The you know what I think what happened with my father is
Have you talked to that dude?
here and there. Yeah.
He's got a nasty Ferrari or Lambo, I think.
Yeah, he's got an Aventador.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I brought my car down to see him, and he's already talking about a full exhaust. And
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, when like my dad's 70, he's gonna be 71 this year, and so back when he was younger, you know, it was all American, like domestic vehicles. People working on Ford, Chevy, GM, and when the European stuff started to come in, a lot of the mechanics didn't want to work on it. They either didn't understand it or didn't care to. So it interested him, and that's kind of what he's always worked on.
Yeah, and then I'm sure if I brought you in a Honda, it would be like cakewalk, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, look around, like that's what most people around here are driving.
Fords, Hondas, exactly. Chevys, standard shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. In what ways does your business practice sustainability, and why is it important to you?
Sustainability as far as like environmental sustainability or
Sustainability in just making sure that you have the call volume, that
Oh, okay, I see what
you
you're saying.
have continuance work, and just it's you're going to be in business in the next another 10 years.
yeah. So number one thing I guess going back to what we were just talking about is customer service. You know,
Right.
trying to make someone a customer for life because they've got a car.
Which is those service agreements.
Yeah.
All of those is freaking keep
Exactly.
customer retention.
Yeah, and then to be honest with you, I was saying earlier that I'm always the biggest challenge is like I was always my own bottleneck. So when I just started, I just hired a technician recently, allowed me, freed up some time where we're growing. Now I've got a funnel to fill, basically like a business. So I've been working on a lot of different strategies in regards to more longer term marketing plays, involve doing things on social media, making
How's your coach?
Good.
That's sweet.
It's been very helpful.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I remember you mentioned that first time we met that you have one, and I'm big with coaching. Of course.
I mean, honestly, you think about like anybody that's doing anything at a high level, like you don't need a coach to go to the gym, but you need a coach to be a professional bodybuilder. So if you want to be at that level, you don't need like a coach.
Well, I tell you what, that's another thing that
It's obviously nice to have good contact with them like that. So it's like if I'm stuck on something, I can just text or call them and be like, "Yo, what am I doing here? Like, what should I do here?" But I've been trying more and more to not do that.
Mhm.
And it's just like now that I'm working with my guy at the shop. If he has to ask me every time he needs something, how is he ever going to work independently?
Right on.
So if I want to work independently, I need to take the knowledge I've gained and then try to implement it in my own way.
No, exactly.
Ultimately,
your wife's got a business, right?
Yeah, my
Does she-
girlfriend.
Girlfriend? Does she have a coach for that or no?
No.
No.
She's been doing that for.
She's comfortable with what she has, It's
super
not,
happy. Yeah.
she's not overwhelmed. She's comfortable and she's confident with it, so that's good.
Yeah, she's just incredibly talented at what she does. She's kind of been a little like niche where she's working on a lot of very high-end properties.
Right on.
You know,
I'm sure that helps you too. Sometimes get some business.
yeah,
Kill two
yeah,
birds with one stone.
exactly.
Um, how does your business engage with and give back to the community? I saw you just started that donation with the chamber.
United Way. So we're doing right now a food drive. Working with the United Way. I met
That's
a
awesome,
woman
man.
through the chamber.
I gotta come by and drop some stuff off.
Yeah, absolutely.
You already filled up one box too, huh?
Yeah,
That was quick.
To be honest with you, it's been, I don't want to say like shocking, like I wouldn't have expected it from these people, because it's by plenty of kind people that are customers and stuff, but it's just shocking when people like continue to show up with more and more things and just want to give and give back. I mean, this community is what's given me my life.
Yeah, you weren't expected to fill that box that quick.
No, not at all.
That's
it's already full.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's a big thing that now, like I said, leveraging employees within my organization, I can take this a step back and focus on some of these higher level things, and kind of want to create a system around it where I can do 3 or 4 different charity type projects a year that are either helping a large number of people in the community, like this food drive, or where I can do something specifically on maybe a cause or something that's very important to me that I really want to maybe just devote something more like one-on-one to.
No, exactly.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is like it's an inconvenience for anyone to be without their car.
Yeah.
So it's in my best interest as a business owner to get it back to them as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Like I always tell people,
Which is you put your heart into the business.
Exactly.
You know, you put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah.
It's I always say, you know, as much as I get a call for no heat or hot water, I'm gonna get them in right away. Am I running and getting them in right away because I want that money? No, because imagine it would be like if you came home without heat or hot water.
Right.
You know, we were lying there. It's
Yeah, I don't know. I found when I've been the busiest and when I've just focused on like just the service and doing a good job, that's when the money really rolls in. It's when you're not really focused. If you're chasing money, it's gonna run.
Oh yeah.
You know, money, it's like girls too. Like the more you chase girls, the more they run away from you.
Exactly.
But money's the same way. If you're just out there trying to make a buck, you're gonna have a hard time. But if you're trying to provide quality service or quality product for people, you're gonna do well.
Hell yeah. My buddy Preston, he actually just came by. He started, this girl does detailing.
Yep.
But they bought a van, so they're doing mobile detailing. So he got a bunch of stuff to set it up for mobile. A whole water jug in there. So we were able to pipe the water jug gravity to a hose with the drawer off. So that way she can fill buckets. But it was in a vehicle. And, you know, he just said, hey, what do you want? I said, $200. And he gave me $200 and then some just for giving him a quick hand.
Yeah, makes a big difference.
But again, that's kind of what you're saying as, you know, if you're over there going after the money, you know, compared to, you know, offering good service and just want to help people, it's going to come faster than going after it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's awesome about giving back though with your business.
Yeah, and you know, we want to get involved in some more.
Anything else that you do?
This is the main thing I'm focused on right now. I mean,
You give a discount to like seniors or veterans?
I would. I guess I've never actively done that. No one's
Right on.
ever asked, but I'd be more than happy to.
We do usually 6% here.
Nice. Yeah, my dad and I are both, I don't know if this is necessarily giving back to the community per se, but my dad and I are both on the advisory committee for the trade school, you know, so we're in the auto tech program. And then I'm also pretty involved. I coach a couple local lacrosse teams,
Yeah.
youth teams.
That's sweet about the automotive program that you guys do.
Yeah, it's been good, and it's double-sided, right? Because it's good to give back and kind of take the knowledge you have, help some younger kids, and then these are also people that are potentially going to grow up and work in the industry that you're trying to staff people in.
No, exactly. Where's your business located?
1233 Central Street, Leominster.
Sweet deal. Well, hey man, I'm happy that I can have you on my channel. And guys, go check him out, Lanza Auto at.
Lanza Auto on Instagram, Lanza Auto on Facebook.
And the address again?
1233 Central Street, LanzaAutoMA.com. I think that's about it.
Right on, man. Well, we're gonna tag your business, of course. You know, when we get this video posted, and hopefully we can get you some customers going there. as well as I'm going to continue doing business with you, buddy, and we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
No problem, bro.